This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? We're barreling down the tracks here in 2023. Nope, not rhyming anything anymore. Done with the rhyming. 2023. Let's go.
Though the rhyming,
Devin Carter and Dolph Ziggler, maybe?
And Tommy, maybe? I don't know.
This is...
Yeah.
Or Breezy, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Before we get going, though, we do need to congratulate Tommy and his wife, Lagaya. 5 years now?
4 years.
4 years. Happy 4-year wedding anniversary.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Pretty cool. It's like it really do have to remember what year we're on, because the pandemic just completely ruined all that. Like the first year anniversary was so does this count? Because we can't do anything. So
Yeah.
I wonder if yours was the last wedding pre-pandemic that we attended.
Yeah. Like
Was.
we were like amazed. And here's the funny part: the guy said actually to me, in the middle of the pandemic, she said, "Do you know I almost pushed the wedding back to February?" I was like, "Well, that was a good idea not to do that."
Yeah.
That 3-year pandemic that took place in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we are back today this week, and we're going to be talking all about NXT No Mercy and AEW WrestleDream, which, according to some recent wrestling rumors, potentially could be a huge event. It's crazy that this show, WrestleDream, started out really as a kind of a tribute show to honor Antonio Inoki, but 1 year later,
I'm on the edge of my seat about what's coming Sunday. So.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of which, I had a guy who said he had a castle he wanted to sell me. It was kind of a hard place to get to, but he said he had one. So, Sexton, England, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's a big castle there.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit of wrestling news now. Before we get into that, there are a couple things we need to say because these are breaking news from Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
Now, they have announced 2 matches for Bound for Glory on October 21st, taking place in Chicago. The first is that the Knockouts Women's Championship will be defended by Trinity against Mickie James.
Oh, snap.
And the X Division Championship, Chris Sabin will defend against Kenta at Bound for Glory.
Well, now.
Yes. I purposely held on to that one because I wanted to get Tommy's reaction live here. So, but yeah.
And now that he's got the go to sleep back.
Yeah.
Well, don't mind if I do.
Craziness. So,
well, I guess I'm ordering Bound for Glory, guys.
I mean, yeah, it's never bad, So, so here we go. So, other wrestling news a bit. There were a few more WWE firings. I think the biggest one that came out of it was Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Riddle, yes. I was a bit surprised by that. I thought he was a big enough name, at least through MMA, that they might keep him around. But
I thought so too. But
yeah.
But I don't think he was on a good footing with them either, though. Like I don't think. I don't think they were the biggest fan of him from his time there. And I don't know. There was also some weird incident that happened at the airport, like the week or two before, that he posted about, then took off, and that's why he was off Raw that night. I don't know. When they came back from the overseas stuff. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It does seem like there was more going on with that, but, they obviously haven't said anything. So,
okay. Now, the also kind of news about this, obviously, Jade Cargill's contract with AEW is done, and WWE has made a big deal amidst all these firings that they have signed Jade Cargill to a multi-year deal. And my initial thought was, okay, Probably going to go to NXT.
I was
used to what their thing was.
Yeah, we all said that last week.
Last week.
But they put a video of her walking to the performance center, keeping track of all this news coming out.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Yeah. If they get 14 plus million views? 14 million plus views. And for her to go to NXT, it's like, I really though hope they don't just like rush her main roster and have her go over like a big champion. I mean,
someone brought, but someone brought up an idea, at least for her first thing, which might make sense with something I don't know if we were all too happy about recently. Someone mentioned you just brought Nia back to look like a killer.
Yeah.
That's the first person Jade disposes of, which would kind of make sense and be better than, bringing her in to take out Ripley or Bianca or, even I'll probably put her over Raquel, but, one of the other.
I just laugh at all these sudden Jade Cargill fans who I could have swore not 3 weeks ago swore up and down she sucked, she couldn't wrestle, she'd never wrestle again. But all of a sudden she's got a lot of fans.
Are you saying the same thing that Daniel Bryan said many years ago when he was still in WWE?
Fickle, yes, 100%. Like, yes, fickle. I as a matter of fact, that was like the one time I completely agreed with the heel 100%. And I remember thinking, this is a heel promo. I completely agree with everything this man is saying right now. It's like, I mean, boo, Daniel Bryan, and your correct characterization of wrestling fans.
I was going to say about it. Oh, yeah. So if you want her to come in, though, and be cheered, be brought in this hero's welcome, to be honest with you, there's no better way to do it than have her beat Nia Jax. Because
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, has Nia already injured somebody in the ring since she returned? I think that's already been reported or something like that.
Oh, did she? I hadn't heard that.
So originally, Rhea was out storyline-wise, or we all assumed it was storyline-wise.
Yeah.
But then the rumors were like, maybe it wasn't just story. I don't know. Like, I guess that's always going to circle her now because of her past.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's, but, good for Jade. And like we said, I don't know if they can bring her into NXT now at this point. Hopefully they'll allow her time to continue to train and learn and get more under her belt. But she just does have that presence. Tommy knows.
Yeah, I was about to testify for you. I was like, yes, she does, Lord.
Which, by the way, remember, there was a panel with MJF and Jade that Tommy did. You want to go back and watch on the channel, guys? You want to hear her talking back then? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Ding. Yeah, don't worry, guys. I got insulted immediately.
It's crazy to think by this time next year, both of the people that Tommy interviewed on that panel could potentially be in WWE by this time next year.
Yeah. That's true.
Think about that.
Jason's comment says it all. She's too big for NXT right now. She just,
NXT, yeah, but I mean, obviously she's going to do some work at the Performance Center to kind of get her promos cleaned up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And, what kind of the style is. I don't think she'll be at NXT appearances, but how soon do you think she comes back in? Because, like, all right, are we looking like next month to lead into Survivor Series?
It's got to be Survivor Series, right?
Or a surprise return at Survivor Series? Like, what do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, they put some marquee women's title match on the line there, So, involved in War Games if they do War Games again. So,
I mean, I figured that was already going to be Cody, Owens, and Zayn and Jay.
That seems what they're setting up.
Yeah.
The other day in JD McDonough, aka JD Don't Google me.
Yeah.
No. Also, real quick before we go on, Tommy. I also think on that same panel, you may have got the first interview with MJF where he started his face turn.
I did, actually.
Because you know what I mean?
I realized that, yeah.
Because I was thinking about that when he was like, all right, my best friend told me to be nice. And, and then he just started this whole run.
Yeah.
You got the first one in there.
Wow, who'd have thought I'd have been at the start of a face turn? Usually I'm the reason that it ends.
Usually you're the reason for the heel turn.
Yeah, usually. I mean, Lance Hoyt doesn't count. He's always been evil, but so.
Yeah.
Now, another bit of breaking news event, and this one actually involves New Japan Pro Wrestling. They announced their first show on U.S. soil in 2024, and it takes place January 13th at the San Jose Civic Center, Battle in the Valley.
Ooh,
Battle in the Valley shows usually one where Sasha debuted last year.
Yes,
this year.
No, she debuted at Wrestle Kingdom.
You're right, but she had the match for the.
She had the match. Yeah, she had her first match there. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
It's Kyrie, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did announce that it was the first event in 2024 on U.S. soil, and tickets going on until October 5th.
They're actually going to be in Dallas for New Japan Strong November 10th.
Ooh,
I'm trying to.
So who's getting you into that show?
Barrett Brown, is he still working in Japan? I mean, there you go. So
Don't tempt me.
Okay. Now, finally.
Oh wait, real quick before we go on, actually, I do have a joke about that. A funny story. When I posted about that, T-Ray immediately commented on my status. He said, "So who do I send my Hey Brother email to get on the show?" And no lie, I just said Barrett Brown ? But Brandon Oliver replied to T-Ray. He said, "That's the realest comment that I've ever seen in pro wrestling."
That's awesome.
Sorry, JC. I just
all good
right now.
Now, there is one more bit of news coming out right now about an expiring contract, but I figure we'll save that for our WrestleDream discussion because probably going to happen then. It's heavily rumored it's going to happen, could happen, and we'll see when that takes place in Seattle. So
Gilbert and AEW. It's
right. It's awesome. They got the rights to his music too.
It's right back. Let's just admit it. Come on, guys. It's still the truth.
Now, you guys attended the hybrid experience this past Friday, and as some of you might have seen on Twitter, and I'm keeping this quiet because my daughter doesn't know I sent that message. Izzy got her first singles win, kind of a big one there. Adi was rocking the friendship bracelet, sent that out.
Aww.
Appreciate Izzy replying back to that tweet, and let's work something out, see if we can get that. Might send you a message, and we'll see if we can work that out.
So I'm going to tell you this now that it happened or whatever. Yeah. So after we did that, I messaged like Ted either that night or the next day, and I was like, "Hey, can you clip JC's 1 minute morning?" Because I was gonna like I wanted to do that for y'all, and then it popped up, and I was like, "Ted, did you do this?" He's like, "I didn't do anything." I was like, "Oh, okay, you got it yourself. All right, cool."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put it together real quick actually, and took that picture right before, about an hour before her game. So, want to make sure we had that picture on the field for it too. So
nice.
That was cool
to capture that in and clip it. So, appreciate the response, Izzy. We'll be in touch. Hopefully, we'll make something happen, and maybe I'll try and get you a Sharks jersey too. So that'd be fun.
She'd rock it too.
Yeah. But how was the show Friday night?
Show was awesome as always. Hot, of course, but
starting to cool off.
The winter season of Texas is coming, so it'll be down to 80 soon. Maybe. But no, it was another good show. Flock and Brawlers started off against Don Juan and Diego Rene, and they won. Those jerks because they cheated.
Of course they did. J-Wave was out there. Naturally, they cheated.
He was. But that was a good show. You said you came in intermission. You came in during the Rob Love.
I came at the end of the Rob Love match he had. With,
can't
remember his name.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
But so I mean, they had a couple of, again, like Hybrid brings in a couple of new people for their shows besides a majority of their talent. So there was also Don Fernando.
Yeah.
You weren't there for that match, right? Because I think that was second.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one.
Okay. So he came in, and part of his claim was he has the best ass in wrestling. And we were like, that's a bold claim at this show, let alone the entire world of wrestling.
Because I'm sorry, until La Rosa Negra is no longer in wrestling, that's wildly untrue.
I mean, I didn't want to name names. I think
I will name names. I don't even care.
But he was pretty funny. He was relatively new. Jesse James had a match in there. So again, yeah, Don Fernando. Yeah, he was definitely basically cosplaying some different 80s guys. He was doing some Ric Flair shtick, and then he kind of did a version of a People's Elbow, and but it was kind of funny. And then
that's why I wasn't there. I'd have made him quit wrestling immediately because I would have bragged on him so bad.
Well, then it was funny though because we were kind of laughing. It was like, okay, this dude's kind of like, I don't know. And then like he posts a video on social media, like being humble about it and talking about I got to work harder. I was like, oh, okay, so like it's all right, it's legit. That's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, and then Living in Fashion with Devin Carter, who of course we recently interviewed on the channel, out now. They wrestled Eric Walker and Jay Young, who are young hybrid students. They've graduated, but
they should just go by Team Eric Young. They should.
Which that was also a fun match.
Yeah.
I mean, Living in Fashion is awesome. Great team. And as we okay, yeah, I was like,
I thought it was frozen, but I wasn't sure.
It's all good.
I was like, okay, once, right? JC's just no selling the info, but that's cool, man. He's busy. That's all right.
Let me catch up on comments here. Here we go. Yeah.
That was too funny because it's like, all right, he's not impressed. He's been to a lot of shows.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's
not happened once, right?
That's hilarious.
But no, it was a fun show. I mean, all the hybrid dudes were there doing their stuff. And what we were talking about earlier, before the show went on the air, like you said, Izzy had her match. She beat Caliente again.
Her first singles.
First singles win. And Callie, you're awesome. You have a lot of promise. But you did tap out. We have the video proof. You claimed after the tag match that you didn't. Sorry, but you did. We got conclusive proof. Sorry. But after that, you got attacked by Gia Michelle, the women's champion. Tommy, you want to talk a little about the conversation you had with her afterwards? Because where did you come from?
I said to Gia Michelle after the show, I was like, first of all, don't even know you were here. And then I asked, secondly, why is everyone attacking this girl? What did she do?
So, in all seriousness,
to me, what this child has done to all of you.
In all seriousness, guys, go check out our Instagram Countdown City WrestleCast because I have a reel on there of her after she attacks us and gets on the mic.
Yeah.
And first of all, she was like, "I hope you enjoy your little win streak." And you just hear me and Tommy commentating because it's for my camera. So Tommy's like, "She's only had 3 matches."
She said 3 matches and she lost the first one. And I was like, I don't understand. What did she do?
So first of all, it's a cool little spiel of Gia Michelle, talking down to Izzy and challenging her to a match at the next show. By the way,
the title in line,
but also me and Tommy just adding commentary throughout, and then at the end, like the one I was telling you about, where she goes, and I'm going to show you why you belong in the crowd with all these other losers. And I was like, yeah, just because it's true doesn't mean you have to say it.
And I yelled, I resemble that remark.
But yeah, always a good time at Hybrid. We got to talk to a bunch of people afterwards, and really cool show. Never disappointed there.
I really do love the fact that Izzy can't do anything without getting beat up. It's like she tries to give someone a friendship bracelet, gets jumped from behind. She wins a match, she gets jumped from behind. I was like, I'm so confused. I don't understand what's happening anymore. She hasn't been in wrestling long enough to make any of you mad, except for maybe a luchador here and there. But anyway,
wow.
I mean, that's gonna be the story. People just getting mad. She's getting all the hype. So
yeah.
But yeah, here's what it is. So
it was just funny to me because first of all, I didn't know who got in the ring until she hit her. I was like, who the hell was that? Oh, it's Gia Michelle.
Yeah. All right, so some upcoming events on the indie circuit, at least locally. Mission Pro, October 21st. RCW that same weekend, October 22nd.
Woo.
The following Friday is Hybrid, October 27th. They've announced that show. And then BOW's next show is November 4th. And then RCW has another show November 12th. So
yeah, after that October weekend, guess who was probably going to be sick that Monday?
Yeah, right.
After that October weekend, guess who's just going to straight up tell my boss, hey, you know what? It's a long weekend, fam.
I was like, book me for all the hours. I need the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might. Well, the funny part is actually that might be a good weekend to maybe call on Monday because we'll be dead in the middle of right before finals, so I won't be missed that much. But knowing me, I'll probably go in anyway.
Now, before we move on, I do want to go ahead and just talk one last time about CadaverCon because it does take place this weekend.
This weekend.
We'll play this little video again one more time. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
CadaverCon. Voila. Right. Yes. This weekend in Portland, Texas, at the Portland Community Center. Here is the location of the address again because it doesn't flash up loud enough in the video. But Portland Community Center, 2000 Billy G. Webb Drive in Portland, Texas. Mike, what else has got going on this show? So.
As you know, like we've talked about, there's going to be a costume contest. There are going to be a ton of. That's not it. Yeah.
That's not it. My bad. Yeah,
that was last weekend.
That was last weekend.
Yeah.
There and actually, I mean, Tommy, you're the one who's actually going to be there.
Yeah.
Going to be a bunch of the Power Rangers a reunion and stuff. You're going to
for a 25th year anniversary of In Space.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of the geeks are going to be doing different panels and stuff, and as far as I know, they're going to have access to a bunch of them for interviews and stuff. So next week, Tommy, you got to tell us everything that goes down, and hopefully, or at least the stories you can share. I don't want to, whatever happens at
CadaverCon stays at CadaverCon. Hey, Bernsey.
What's up, Bernsey?
What up, Bernsey?
It's also crazy to think that Power Rangers in Space was 25 years ago now, because that really was the official end of a certain era of Power Rangers, because that show, I don't know if I think I've said it before, was supposed to be the actual end of Power Rangers in the States, because they thought the hype train had died off, and it run its course. But that season got such high ratings that they actually brought it back for the season following, and it's of course been going ever since. But yeah, that's a big deal for this season. And actually, I ran into the actors once before at another convention. They're all really cool, so it's gonna be a really fun show.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Well, we got two events going on this weekend. We're going to talk about both of them. The first one, NXT No Mercy. I almost feel like if they ever make an NXT video game, they could do this one, right?
I mean,
yeah,
you should.
I mean, No Mercy is probably the greatest wrestling video game of all time. I'm just going to say that, but
yeah,
So.
yeah, no, for sure.
All right. Now, when I put together the agenda for us, guys, there was only 6 matches on the card, but it appears that they have added a pre-show match to this. So, but yeah, there's 7 total. Pre-show is Blair Davenport versus Kalani Jordan. Just throwing that out there. So you want to tune in early to catch that one. But this looks like a pretty stacked NXT card. And pretty much the first WWE event since the TKO merger. And since, some of the fires that have happened. So, well, we're going to get this started. Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. This is kind of an interesting one, too. Breaker was such a big name on NXT for a long time. Figure when he lost the title, okay, getting ready to move into the main roster, and Baron Corbin has kind of had a resurgence and going back to NXT, getting back to his old gimmick and going hard on this one. So, collision course for these two characters.
Yep.
Who do you think comes out of this one, Tommy?
I honestly think it might be Corbin. I think this might be maybe the NXT send off for Braun. So I think Corbin might win this one.
All right, Mike.
I don't know. I feel like the Braun Breaker NXT last match send off is starting to become like betting against the champion who never lose. Like we keep saying it's going to happen. Yeah. You said before Mania, after he lost the belt. I don't know. I'm going to go with Breaker on this one. Just because it's Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin doesn't really get affected by losses anymore because he's kind of got his.
Did he ever in the first place?
No.
Yeah, they still gave him a push, right?
Yeah.
Though I am going with Corbin. I believe it's his first pay-per-view match since he returned to NXT. Like, I don't think he was at the last pay-per-view, was he?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
to be honest, I have no clue.
I don't remember.
Well, cagematch.net, here I come.
Yeah. So, but I'm sticking with him. Like where his career's gone now. Like you're giving this gimmick a resurgence. If you bring him back and he's just putting people over, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I feel like he needs kind of a win here, to kind of help this little resurgence he's having.
Well, he was on Great American Bash against Gable Stevenson.
Oh, that's right.
That's
everyone cheered for him and not Stevenson.
Yeah.
And then Stevenson disappears again.
And then because it also ended a double count out. This match's rating on this site is ridiculous.
It's ridiculously high.
Yeah, you wish. No, it's a 2.32 for the fan voting. Apparently, Wrestling News Network gave it a half a star.
Wow.
Yeah, that Stevenson's not really good in the ring as a wrestler. So.
Yeah. All right. NXT Heritage Cup, and this one is a British Rounds Rules match. Noam Dar defending against Butch. I've got Noam Dar retaining. Mike, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Butch because I want him to win the Heritage Cup, and then get rid of the name Butch and go back to the Bruiserweight. Finally.
Yeah.
It probably won't happen, but that's what I'm going for.
All right, Tommy.
I'm going Butch because like same reasons. I want Pete Dunne back.
All right.
I was what shout out to Thunder Files on YouTube. They whoever runs the channel, they post a lot of like indie wrestling clips, like so they won't get copyright strikes. And they showed a bunch of Pete Dunne, and one was of not the better end. He does a version of like the suplex that like dropped into like a power bomb. And like it was like it wasn't like a small indie show, but like it was like an indie show. I said, oh, so Pete has been murdering people for years. Okay, good to know.
Yes, he has. Also, I think because Tyler Bates been kind of doing some weird like hippie guru character, but I think Butch asked him to be in his corner for this match because I think they had a match to get, or I think Butch beat him to get to the finals, or at least in one of the previous rounds.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of interesting for a reuniting of them two.
Yeah.
All right, NXT North American Championship, and this one is going to have Dragon Lee serving as the guest referee. Dirty Dominic Mysterio defending against Trick Williams. I want to say this is a new opponent for Dominic. Wasn't he supposed to wrestle somebody?
Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali. There we go. Yeah. So, kind of last minute replacement here. But I feel like this is going to stay on Dom. Do you guys agree?
I'm going to be wrong on purpose. I'm picking Trick Williams.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Trick Williams because of Dragon Lee being the ref.
That's fair too.
I think that's going to start some stuff.
I'm picking Trick Williams because I know I'm wrong, and I just don't care because I like Trick Williams. So,
but also, so apparently they had the call with Sean today for the media for this or whatever, and he basically said that like he found out that they were losing Ali, like right as it was being announced, basically.
Oh, that sucks.
And he just kind of, I guess he kind of alluded to the fact that he realized and that the NXT roster and the main roster are two totally different things, and they don't really take into account if they're in the middle of the storyline when they're, because it's more of like how it affects the main roster. So
yeah,
I think we kind of already knew that, but it just kind of sucks when you hear it from the NXT people like Sean.
I mean, if you, I don't know if you saw, I know you guys saw it. I sent it to you, but like Mansoor is just spilling all the tea right now. Him on social media, he outright talking about how Vince just changed everything on the Raw after Mania in like 2 hours or more than an hour.
Totally killed
an hour before.
Which
sucks.
Probably less, and just killed all the momentum they had of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like
a horrible show.
It was like the worst Raw after Mania I had seen probably since that started becoming a thing of Raw after Mania.
Right.
It was like the worst one ever.
It really was.
And confirmed that they cut Seth's promo while he was in the ring.
Right in the middle of the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. So
how do you do that? Okay, sorry, that's a whole other tangent. I don't get how you do that.
It's Vince McMahon with that mustache. I swear to God, it looks like a cartel leader now. I swear to God.
Dude, okay, thank you. I said the exact same thing. I was like, what is Vince on the run? What the hell is this? What, dude? You got gray hair, bro. You've had gray hair since 2000. Let it go.
Look, if it's not Vince running a cartel, it's maybe like a long distance cousin who was running a cartel and just like replaced him or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, actually, if Vince was bound and gagged in like his basement, that might be an improvement.
Yeah. NXT Tag Team Championship is a fatal 4-way. The Family versus OTM versus the Creed Brothers versus Los Lotharios, which is Alberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. So we need to roll a die on this one because this is kind of hard to pick.
I'll start. I think it's going to start on the Family.
Okay.
The Creed Brothers are another group that is ready for main roster because they are some athletic freaks. I don't know if you see some of the stuff they do.
I've seen a couple of things, yeah.
But they're insane, and I really hope when they bring them up right and they bring Ivy Nile with them as part of their little group, because they have the potential to be, I mean, Lesnar-esque in the kind of power and explosiveness they have.
Yeah.
And so they were the champs for a while, I guess is what I was getting at. I don't think they need another run. Los Lotharios, I know there was some like kind of repackaging of them a little bit, but I don't know. And OTM, I'm going to be honest, I know it's like a group of people these new guys, but I don't know too much about OTM. The Family is still going pretty strong with those two, so I'm going to stick with them.
As am I. Creed Brothers ready to go. Everything else just seems, the Family's just barely in their first reign. Let them keep it. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Family.
Okay.
Man, grab my dice for nothing.
Roll it anyways.
No,
what if you get a 5 though? What or a 6?
I don't know.
I figured at that point we just probably go to like I don't know. I was gonna figure out some
roll again.
Oh, 5 is JC chooses for you. 6 is I choose for you.
I'm not rolling these dice then. Yeah,
okay.
I'm going with the Family.
All right, NXT Women's Championship: Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. Anyone think Becky's going to lose the title this weekend?
No,
I mean,
stick with Becky.
But the only thing is, like, how long of a run is she going to have? Because I don't feel like she's kind of going back and forth between these shows, which is, I guess, like Dom is also kind of, it wasn't like when Finn went down and was on NXT for a solid couple of months. Like she's her and Dom and a couple of others have been drifting back and forth between main roster and this. So I know they have huge plans for Tiffany Stratton. She really came up this last year, and I know they, maybe not quite Charlotte Flair-esque, but that I don't know how long Becky's gonna stay down there with this little run. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Tiffany Stratton with some shenanigans.
Well, it is an Extreme Rules match, by the way. I forgot to note that. So,
it is?
It is an Extreme Rules match,
that's right.
So
I'll still say Becky.
Maybe someone comes down from the main roster to get involved, and that starts the next Becky feud for her on the main roster.
Shenanigans.
Jay Cargill, right?
Oh, God.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm gonna stay Becky as well, keeping that right, picking that. So, I mean, the only other reason I can think she would lose is like, okay, she got her Grand Slam. Now let's move on. So it's just I don't know. It would be weird to me that she loses the immediate rematch.
Jason says Becky retains. Man,
that's fair.
Did we talk about that savage tweet that Becky replied to Bayley about after she won it?
Oh no, I don't remember.
Yeah, no,
bro.
Mike.
Am I gonna find it? Or do I need to find it?
No. Just go ahead. You say what it was, but because it's Bayley.
Yeah, and so Bayley said that she said something to the effect to Becky of like, it took you long enough. How many years was that? And then Becky replied to Bayley, short of the time it took you to main event WrestleMania. And I was like, oh. oh, somebody might get shot.
I think I got a 1 minute warning now.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, you're welcome.
Finally, NXT Championship is Carmelo Hayes against Ilya Dragunov, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Why is Ilya Dragunov like the filler when they don't have an opponent for the champion? Because that's exactly what it feels like, and I expect Carmelo Hayes to retain here.
Because he's so damn good, realistically, nobody can beat him. That's the problem with Dragunov. Is realistically, this man is legitimately a force of nature. Like when I don't know if you guys saw that clip when Dominic slapped him in the face, and I was like, oh, this man's chosen death. Okay, cool. Yeah. I didn't know Dominic wanted to die that badly, but cool. I mean, do you, bro? I thought your life was going pretty good. You had Judgment Day and everything, but sure, if that's how you want to go out. Less painful ways to do it, but sure, piss off Ilya Dragunov. What could possibly go wrong?
Look, even what's her name eventually won her Emmy after like 30 years of being in movies. Meryl Streep, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm either gonna like pull an amazing number of wins here. Or I'm gonna go like 0-6. It's one or the other. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go Ilya Dragunov because he's got to win it at some point, right?
I mean.
Because Carmelo Hayes, though, I don't know. Maybe if it's vacated, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird. He's always that guy that they're just using to put somebody over, and just to kind of be a placeholder. That's
no, really I know, but that's what I mean. Like he's got to win it eventually, right? And Carmelo's another one who he could lose it and go to the main roster because he's ready for that too.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of their people are not ready for the main roster, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, but that roster literally just got chopped down from people they weren't using. So
Tommy, who'd you say you were picking on this one, or did you say
Carmelo?
Carmelo. Okay.
I'll probably even if I'm wrong, I'm cool. I don't mind being wrong on this one either.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get back here so I can turn this off. Okay. NXT No Mercy is taking place this Saturday, September 30th, 7 p.m. Central Time. I believe the pre-show is going to start at 6 or 6:30 on Peacock, so check that out. Takes place in the Mechanics Bank Arena in Bakersfield, California. A couple of West Coast shows this weekend, yeah. So, again, on Peacock, starts at 7 Central Time. Pre-show should be starting around 6 or 6:30. Check Peacock for more details. So,
California love. Okay.
Yeah. And now on to the AEW side of things. They're going to be doing a Sunday night show, AEW WrestleDream. This, of course, started out as an announcement to honor Antonio Inoki, taking place on the 1-year anniversary of his passing. And the event is expected to begin with a 10-bell salute for Inoki. But it's funny how this has suddenly turned into a huge thing, especially with some rumors leading to it. A lot of titles on the line, and another match that was just recently added to that's not on the agenda there, guys. Go ahead, Mike. What's up?
Well, because this is another one. Like I know they announced it after the last pay-per-view,
right?
But I really feel like Tony Khan's gotten to this place outside of All In. It actually kind of maybe even with All In, of like, oh yeah, we got a pay-per-view in a week. Let's throw some matches on that card. But they're really awesome matches, and they're always good shows.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe a match or two will kind of have, like, a longer build, but it's like, oh, crap, right. Here you go, and it's like, awesome show.
To be fair, I would say the differences on this one is at least maybe I'd say 2 or 3 of them had like more than just 1 or 2 had more build-up in this case.
Yeah. Although once he announced it, probably just didn't even need a build up. Like we know what's going to happen. It's probably going to main event the show. So yeah. But let's start with the match that was just recently announced: Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Oh,
Mike, I know you're conflicted. What do you think's happening here?
I'm going to go with Ricky Starks.
Okay.
Because he's the. I mean, look, I love Wheeler Yuta. I love Blackpool Combat Club, obviously, but obviously Starks is the one that needs to continue to be used as a main event type guy. Someone who's always the possibility of going after that title. And Yuta's kind of excelled in this role as the one who takes the beatings and the loss for Blackpool Combat Club, except for every now and then when they let him pull out some things like getting Omega to submit or pin, what was it, the pin or whatever in that multi-person match.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a banger of a match because Judah's a wrestling genius and Starks is Starks. So I'm going to go Starks, but it's going to be a fun match.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going with Starks as well. Some of the momentum he's had working right now, even before CM Punk was let go, I really hope they carry over because he's pretty much the next big star that they're going to have at AEW. And of course, we've known him in Texas for the longest time too. Yeah. Tommy, what about you?
Starks. Same reasons. Yep.
Okay. Now, next singles match on the card: Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. Yeah, this is supposed to be a tribute show, guys. What the hell is going on here? So, oh, you guys probably go ahead and make your pick.
I'm picking Swerve, man. I see no reason why he shouldn't be. Your kids are the worst thieves ever. They're terrible at espionage. They can't do it.
You can't see me.
You forgot to put your spider hoodie on before you start.
Yeah, you gotta. If you're gonna crawl in, you gotta really commit to the game.
Yeah, because then you could come in through the ceiling. So
yeah, see,
there you go. See, I was Jay the whole time. See, I thought it was Spider.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yes.
Everyone point.
Say goodnight. Say goodnight. All right, say goodnight. Now flip out of here. Flip. Go. Okay, thank you.
No lie, as a kid, yeah, I would do that kind of
stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I do kind of carry him down the hallway as he's flipping, just to kind of do that.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, that's what you gotta do, man.
And then you gotta tell him at the end, superhero landing. He nails that too.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
It's killer on the knees.
Yeah. It's killer on the exactly about to say that.
Man, please, he's 4. His knees are
no, I know.
Fresh.
He's 6.
I just like that reference.
By the way, he's 6. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I miss years. I told you about 2020.
I know. So who you going with, Tommy?
Swerve.
Okay.
It's funny because I remember him from Wrestle Circus. Nice guy. Really is a cool dude to talk to. This super villain version he has of himself. I'm like, huh. So that's cool. But I like it. So yeah. So Swerve. And what's up, Legacy of Nerd?
Yes, Jay Cargill talked about that earlier on the news too.
Yes. I mean, we can always bring her back up because it's Jay Cargill, and I'll happily.
Well, Mike, what's your pick on this match? We might come back to it.
I'm going to go with Swerve's too. I think he's kind of got some momentum going. I think he'll probably, though. I'm going to probably say this a bunch. I think there's going to be some cheating going on there. Maybe some shenanigans again. But they had a really good promo kind of back and forth for the contract signing. Adam Page is, again, in a similar vein that he's kind of always there in the main event picture. And I don't think a win, especially if it's a little bit of a tainted win, hurts him much. But I also have a feeling it's going to lead to a bigger, maybe not sanction, but like a stipulation match. Either on a future Collision or at the next pay-per-view that follows, especially if they're doing pay-per-views closer together coming soon. So,
yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe this one's going to add it to the monthly rotation. If rumors are true, they're going to be going on Max next year. Yeah. Monthly pay-per-views. This could potentially be one of them. So, which, by the way, I'm also going with Strickland on this as well. So
cool.
All right, Chris Jericho and Golden Elite versus the Don Callis family. I can already see the steam coming out of Tommy's ears when he mentioned Don Callis, but still, I'm gonna pick the Don Callis family to win this one too. So, I mean, it's a kind of a stacked team. Yes, I know Sammy Guevara's on. He's the only one I really want to see his ass beat, but Ospreay and Takeshita kind of cancel him out. So, I'm going with the Don Callis family to win that. So, yeah.
Damn it!
Wow. While Tommy recovers, I'll let Mike pick.
I was going to hold my angry face when he said that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, the only wild card is Jericho. He'll put people over, but then he'll also kind of be like, I need my win back. But hopefully that's further down the road.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Tommy.
The friggin' Don Callis family. Which is funny because I would actually love to meet Doc Callis someday. It's just his character. He's too good at at making you hate him. It's like way too easy.
Lance, I mean, there was that short run podcast with him and Lance Storm, and Lance pretty much says, "Yeah, he's kind of always a jerk. Like it's kind of him, in a sense."
Fair enough. I mean, no acting required. I guess makes it better. So
that was it. Was honestly like I know people give Lance Storm such a for being so mild, but he's really knowledgeable. He's got a dry sense of humor, which is actually pretty funny.
Yeah,
I don't think he gets enough credit.
I don't think he does either. It's like I feel like you don't always have to be the most charismatic wrestler to be the most over, because let's be honest, Bret Hart was not, and he still was one of those over guys of all time. So I don't know why. I never understood where this argument came from about Lance Storm.
Well, here's my thing, and this is nothing against Bret Hart. In the modern time, do you think a guy like Bret Hart would have gotten over? I mean, charisma wasn't
with AEW, yes.
AEW, yes, but obviously it wouldn't have been a WWE kind of thing.
Only with groundswell of fans, kind of like Bryan Danielson did, I would say.
Like the thing about Lance Storm, yes, he wasn't as charismatic, but if I can be serious for a minute, is one of the greatest catchphrases of all time. That's all you really needed. So I mean, that's all the charisma you need. You have something. So,
Yeah, but the Hitman had futuristic sunglasses.
Yeah, I know.
And he was the best there was, the best there is. Wait, the best there is, the best there was, the best there. He was the best at every era.
Good save. Good save.
Saved it.
It's nothing against. Yeah, Bret Hart definitely a legend. That's obvious.
But also, Shawn Michaels better than him, so it's okay.
Yeah. So but starting that fight all over again, right?
Yeah.
So. All right, a fatal four-way for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Young Bucks, the Guns, the Lucha Brothers, and the team of Orange Cassidy and Hook are battling it out. Look, I'm just gonna say this. I'm expecting a lot of fun stuff to happen with Cassidy and Hook as a team, but I don't expect them to win because they don't have a name for their team at this point. So
not yet.
But I think the Lucha Brothers are going to take this one. This potentially ties into where I think this the AEW Championship match is going to go. But and to be honest with you, I'm sick of the Young Bucks being in the tag team picture right now. Like, give us a break from it. So I'm going to go with the Lucha Brothers here. Tommy?
I was actually going to go with the Guns, to tell you the truth.
Really interesting.
Dude, I'm sorry. Bullet Club Gold might be one of the best things going right now. I mean, and this is a good sentence. We've been saying that a lot with a lot of different acts, and I'm legit happy we can say that. A lot of things are the best thing going in wrestling, but dude, it's weird to say that I look forward to whatever they're doing on Collision, because every time they're on the screen, it's like, this is going to be so stupid, I'm going to be laughing uncontrollably. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think the Guns finally have the momentum they were. I won't say lacking, because I think they were supposed to be hated before, but I think now they really found their niche with Jay White and Juice Robinson. So yeah, I'm thinking Guns, because they've been killing it lately, and they've just been too much fun to watch. So
okay, Mike.
I'm going to go with Orange Cassidy and Hook, because I totally agree with you about the Bucks don't need to be in the title picture. But the Guns had a run with the belts. Lucha Brothers have. I'd like to see Orange Cassidy and Hook. I don't care if they don't have a name. Orange Cassidy has a catchphrase. And it's
Team Lethargic.
Okay.
Hook isn't lethargic.
Jason's also picking the Guns too, but now here's my question for you. So, if Cassidy and Hook win, and they win the tag team championships, B Ninja had a little message.
Hey, B Ninja, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Orange Hook. That's so
Say
good.
they win the tag team championships. Are we pushing for hashtag Orange Hook 1000 days in the tag team? Then we start that up again. I mean,
look, let's win the belt first. The belts first. Before we push them on this.
I knew JC
was a missed opportunity.
I knew JC was just heartbroken when Moxley pinned.
Very heartbroken. And he lost it immediately. God damn. So, all right.
Well, didn't mean to.
Yeah, I know. Which, by the way, if you're a ref, count the pin. the shoulders are down. You're taught that. Just count it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know, I get it, but I mean, every ref I've talked to has always said, their shoulders are down. You count the pin. Doesn't matter. Let them fix it later. You're doing your job. So that's
and also
plain and simple.
and also to be fair, if Moxley had to lose due to injury, he could have done a lot worse than Ray Phoenix. So.
Yeah. All right. On to the championship matches now. TBS Championship: Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart.
Okay,
Mike, go ahead.
I want to say something here because no, like I don't mean this in a bad way, but I was watching Dynamite, or maybe it was Collision last. So I don't remember which one, where she had a match, and they were saying that, or I think it was the Dynamite Wednesday, that that Julia Hart has been undefeated for the past 17 months, and I was like, has she? So I looked it up. She's had 14 matches in that time since her last defeat, which was by DQ. So this goes all the way back to December of last year. And before that, I think she was injured because the match before that was in May. So, like, she missed most of 2022. And so she has technically been undefeated, but it's 14 matches in 17 months, which I don't think would fit the requirement for, like, the PWI list. So she's been really impressive. Awesome. She has a nice moonsault that she showed off against Willow, and they put her over Willow, which is actually kind of big, but I don't see her taking it off Statlander. I'd be a little shocked if she did.
I mean, they let Lesnar and Reigns get away with it, so I don't know why she can't. So,
wait, what are we talking about?
About the win-loss record.
Oh, I was like, well, they let him get away with a lot of things. Please be more specific. No.
Yeah, sure, fair enough.
Right. All right. So Tommy, what are you picking on this one?
Yeah, I'll pick Statlander. I'm still not over the fact that she did the Zoolander thing, so I'm still. She still wins in my book. So
until she beat Jade Cargill, so I mean, is that really a big deal for Jade anymore?
Dude, you know, someone said that word for word on Twitter. Someone typed that word for word on Twitter. I know they did. So, but until Statlander's no longer ridiculously good looking, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, then I guess it's Statlander 1000.
Yeah, Statlander 1000. There you go. She's got to hit the blue steel every time, So.
Oh my God! Do you remember? Hold on, I'm sorry, real quick. The video game where Stacy Keibler's finishing move was like basically like posing her butt out. It would make the person like take a bump.
I remember this one. I remember that. I can't remember which game it was.
Was it No Mercy?
I don't remember if it was No Mercy. The one, it might have been WrestleMania 2000, but it was from those games. And it was like she would basically like pose, and the person would like, and that was a legit finisher. But now that you said that, I need Statlander to win some matches with just blue steel gaze.
Yeah,
just looking, and they take a bump, and
could happen. Could definitely.
No, I got one better. They go to swing a chair at her. She does it, and they hit themselves with the chair.
Bernsey picks Statlander. Jason picks Statlander. I'm also picking Statlander. So we're all pretty much unanimous here. Statlander retaining over Julia Hart. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting. TNT Championship, 2 out of 3 falls match. Christian Cage, we think, is defending against Darby Allin. And now with the latest news out there, one Edge, his contract comes up on Saturday, and it's expiring, so there's not a no-compete he has to honor. He's cleared in time to show up potentially at WrestleDream, and it's heavily rumored he'll be there. Let's say it, guys. Is Sexton Hardcastle all elite? Is it going to happen?
Well, how could you not be all elite with a name like Sexton Hardcastle?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we get Corner or Degree or Knife Blade. I don't know. Whatever, Hold on.
Well, there's already a knife pervert on the roster.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up my thesaurus real quick. 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, we could go with Verge or Rim Circumference.
While we're doing this, I'm just going to say this because I'm expecting Hardcastle to show up. I think Christian Cage is going to retain, whether he wrestles the matches or not. We'll see. But I would love for Darby Allin to win this, but I think Cage is going to retain with a little bit of help. So,
Well, now hold on, because technically Luchasaurus was the TNT champion.
Yeah.
But Christian was carrying it around and claiming it to be his.
Yeah.
Then they had the triple threat, and Cage officially won it.
Yeah.
So are you insinuating that now he's going to let Luchasaurus wrestle for him in his matches as TNT champion?
I mean, potentially.
That wouldn't be outside the rules.
That does sound like a Christian thing, actually.
I mean, if they throw some stipulation in there, because it is 2 out of 3 falls, where all of a sudden it's no DQ or something like that,
But does Adam Copeland show up to be on Christian's side?
No, Sexton Hardcastle will. I don't know who this Adam Copeland guy is. So
fair enough.
I had to say it once. Sorry. I mean, it seems like it. I mean, why? Do you think they would put him against each other to bring him in?
I just feel like Edge. I feel like he would come in with a big hoopla, and the fans would go crazy and love him.
Yeah,
so it'd be hard to. I mean, he could do it because I know he's good at what he does, but I just feel like it would be hard to immediately team him with Christian, who is like one of the biggest a-holes in wrestling right now with his character. And I don't think Beth would be happy if Edge was like hitting on widowed mothers of young wrestlers like Christian does.
Wait, did you guys see Nyla Rose's tweet about a month ago? She said, I was backstage at a show and Christian Cage walked by me and smiled at me. I called up my dad right away to see if he was okay.
Okay, that's awesome.
Well, if he doesn't get involved in the match itself, I think Christian Cage is still going to retain. He's going to get help from somewhere. But I think if something may happen after that match where we get that surprise appearance.
Yeah.
So wherever they have it on the card. So
yeah, the surprise,
this match could potentially open the show too.
Yeah, the surprise debut of Verge. Yep.
Nice. Well, Tommy, who are you picking on this one? Cage or Allen?
I'll go Cage. I mean, I want to pick Darby Allin so bad, but I'll pick Christian Cage.
All right, Mike.
Only because he's like one of the most fun things to watch. No matter, I mean, he got his own daughter thrown out of the arena, guys. Come on,
yeah.
You can't go much more heel than that. I get it. Dominic yelled "shut up" at his mom, but this man kicked his own daughter, who's all of 8 years old, out of an arena. Come on.
And told her she didn't win the belt.
Can I hold your belt? Did you win this title?
Yeah.
Said security. She's not properly credentialed. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Mike, who are you picking?
I'm gonna go with Cage too.
Okay. Such a good
I seriously watch that clip every now and again just because I'm like, that was so evil. Oh my god.
Oh, remind me to tell you about speaking of a clip after we're done picking all the show. But,
okay.
All right. ROH Tag Team Championship. Originally, it was supposed to be the team of Better Than You, Bebe versus the Righteous, but now it's officially labeled as a 2-on-1 handicap match due to an injury to Adam Cole, Bebe. So MJF is basically defending it alone. The weird part of this is like I have a feeling Cole's gonna somehow make his way a part of this match, one way or another. Show up, 1 foot, whatever, still try and get himself tagged in. I think it's going to happen. But with that injury, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I'm like, I don't know who to pick on this one. So it's just kind of up in the air. What about you guys? You guys have an idea where you think you're going to go with this?
I have an idea.
What you got, Tommy?
So I'm picking the Righteous, primarily because Vincent and Dutch have been doing this for a long time, and I'm happy that they got their jobs back with ROH after all the hoopla with the company and everything. But and the reason I'm picking them is because I still don't know how this attack on Jay White that happened at the end of Dynamite Wednesday will play into everything. Because if you saw, one of those guys had the mask that MJF wore, when he was the Joker, the Devil, and everything. So someone said that was the Kingdom and Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And Roderick Strong who jumped him.
Yeah, that dude did not have the dump truck that MJF did. You could tell it wasn't him. So
fair enough. So that's why I'm picking the Righteous, because I feel like that's going to play in some kind of way. I feel like that attack on Jay White may have been the beginning of something. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
See, it is that last segment that throws a little wrench into my thinking, because I see where you're coming from. Because what I really thought was going to happen, or I might still go with this, is I feel like MJF is going to, at least for like a handful of matches going forward, find a way to pull out victories in these situations when he shouldn't, because he's MJF and he still knows how to be a dastardly heel and cheat when he needs to. And maybe in a couple of weeks or in a month, the Righteous circle back around to another rematch or to a rematch and win him then. But I'm going to go with MJF for this one, because I think he's going to find a way to pull it out. I could be wrong, and it may lead into the other storyline. It's Britt Baker under the mask.
Yeah, it's funny. I've seen that a lot on Twitter too. People thinking that it is Britt.
I mean, Baker, she wants her spot back as part of the 4 pillars.
I'm gonna go ahead and say MJF retains, but I really think there's gonna be some involvement where Adam Cole's gonna just get himself tagged in and do something. I don't know if he's gonna do a whole lot with that foot injury, or maybe he's faking it. Who knows? So, but I'm gonna say
it looked real, but you never know.
I'm gonna say better than you, baby, retains, even if it is just MJF. Now AEW Tag Team Championship, FTR is defending against Aussie Open. I'm expecting FTR to retain because I really want to see them against the Lucha Brothers again, because we're going based on my pick from earlier.
Okay.
Tommy, what about you?
I'm actually going Aussie Open. I feel like what they've been doing the past couple of weeks was just them starting to get everyone else over, and this is their way of getting back to them getting back over, because first of all, them signing with AEW was a shock to me. I legitimately thought they had at least another good year with New Japan before they made that jump. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Aussie Open, and because FDR, they've had a great run, and I don't see why they couldn't have maybe like another number one contender spot with Lucha Brothers later. So,
all right, and Mike.
I'm gonna go with Tommy. I'm gonna go with Aussie Open too. I think they're like kind of similar to Tommy said. They're finally getting the recognition they deserve. Beating FTR for the belts will really legitimize them, I think, in the more American fans. I know AEW tend to be more knowledgeable of the New Japan and stuff like that, but I think that'll obviously, that'll solidify them and legitimize them as a good tag team. And FTR, they've been the champs a bunch. That doesn't hurt them to not have the belts. So.
Yeah. And another reason why I was saying that is because I think like the title loss to MJF and Cole was just because that was a cool feel good moment for the crowd at Wembley, and it furthered the storyline and made it more interesting for the title match later that night. So, but like Aussie Open, I think they've done their job, and now they're going to get their big win back.
Okay. And Jason put up there, he's also picking Aussie Open on his. So
nice.
Now, the final of the championship matches is a title for title. Ring of Honor World Championship and Strong Openweight Championships on the line. Eddie Kingston, of course, holding the ROH title, and Katsuyori Shibata holding...
Oh, no. Shibata only has the Pure Championship. Kingston has both, the Strong and the Pure title.
Yeah.
The Strong and the...
He has the World title and the Strong. Shibata has the Pure.
Yeah, so it's just for both of Eddie's belts.
Oh, it's both of Eddie's. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mixed that up. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I just realized that when I looked at it, I was like, oh, no, wait. So, no, you're fine.
My apologies. Yeah,
no,
I mixed that up. So, interestingly enough, I can't recall I've ever seen this where you're defending 2 championships in one match.
Roman does it all the time. What are you talking about?
I mean, I was going to say, does Roman count anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, no, sir. I'm actually kind of being serious. Because, like, I don't know. Are those still 2 separate belts? I can't tell anymore.
Well, I feel like no, because I feel like Eddie...
one title, right?
Eddie can, like, defend one or the other if he wanted to, right? Like, I don't know if Roman's ever been like, I'm only defending the Universal title or,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I know what you mean. Like, it has been a while since someone's had 2 belts that, you could do both of them, maybe one of them.
Here's my question: is it one pin for both titles, or is it going to be like first pin is one, second pin?
No, I assume it's one pin for both.
I assume it's one pin for both titles. Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, I'm picking Eddie Kingston to retain. I want to see him, with a long title run, especially with the ROH Championship.
Yeah.
He could lose the strong open weight like somewhere else, but I really want to see that. It's much deserved for him. He's got a long history with Ring of Honor, so to see him as a champion of that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to see that happen. So, Tommy, what about you?
I'm picking Eddie Kingston. Yep.
Okay. And Mike.
Same. I mean, the disrespect that would show Claudio to beat him and then just lose the next match.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Fair enough. So I remember at 5. So I was counting up real quick, and as of this year, I have only not met 5 ROH World Champions. I've met every other single ROH World Champion ever. I've only never met 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this like a trivia thing that I have to guess which 5 it is you haven't met?
I can tell you, or you can guess.
Punk.
Let me pull up my list. Punk is 1
for sure.
Let's see here.
Xavier, Ray, he rest in peace. Right, you know what? I was trying to figure out how to go to that Vegas show where he was gonna be at. I legitimately was. Then the pandemic hit.
Jamie Noble.
Jay Briscoe? No, you met Jay Briscoe.
I met him. Yeah, I met him before.
Austin Aries?
Jericho. No, met Jericho.
No, I met Jericho. Yeah. Austin Aries is 1.
Claudio?
I met Claudio.
Oh, you were at that show before, right?
Yeah.
I think. You've met Tyler Black. You've met Kyle O'Reilly. PCO.
Yep.
5.
Yep.
Wait, who did I miss before that? Who's the 4th?
Oh, Austin Aries.
Oh, you did say yes to Aries.
No, I haven't met Aries.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to meet PCO, but because he was at BOW, but I had another event that day, couldn't go, and by the time we got out of the event, he had already left.
Amazing.
I was bad.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. There's one more. There's 6. Takeshi Morishima. I haven't met him yet.
Wow.
But that
so of the 32 different people that have held the championship, you haven't met 6 of them.
I met 6 of them. Yeah. So
I'm pretty proud of the random ones I got.
Well, 33 because didn't Loki and Homicide share or something like I don't know. Oh no, it's 33. It's 33. Yeah, 33. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a ranking list and they have them tied for a number of combined days or something. Yeah. So.
But yeah. Anyway. So this is a little fun trivia.
That's pretty
cool. Yeah. And that is a Tommy trivia moment. All right, and finally the match that I think is going to be the main event, and why the fuck not? Because it is in Seattle after all. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. And by God, if all hell's probably going to break loose if Bryan Danielson doesn't win this one, so I am expecting Bryan Danielson to win this one. I think Mike agrees with me on that.
Yeah, so do I.
So yeah,
we're all going to take off the time limit and just let them go. So, Tony Khan just say, all right, guys, the match is going to start. It'll end when they decided to. Good night, everybody. Everybody else is going to go home.
Will this match potentially pass Toriano versus Jeff Cobb for match of the year? Just going to throw that out there. Come on. So, work with me, guys.
Yes.
Yes, sure. Yes, absolutely. Okay. I mean, of course.
Better than Omega versus Osprey. Okay.
It's hard to surpass the 7-star classic that was Yano and Cobb. I mean, God, wrestling pundits will be talking about it for decades to come. But I think this might be, and this is going to be hard to do, a little bit better. And hey, that's going to be a tall order, but it's possible.
See, it's not just me. It's not just Mike and I agree that was the match of the year.
Oh, no, but Jason's a Cobb fan. That's why.
See? Well, I mean.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it could potentially. I mean, oh boy, it's got to work really hard, but it could just squeak out being a little bit better than that immediate classic. That it was so great that even the wrestling greats from heaven had to come down to earth to say, Cobb and Yano, Gotta watch that one, everyone. That's how you do wrestling.
Let me put it this way: is this match going to be AEW's match of the year?
Ooh, they've had some good picks this year.
Yeah, I'm going to say no, not as an insult to this match, but to a compliment to how many good matches they've had, including what he did with Okada with, the broken arm. Also, just kind of adding to that, I know he made the comment after that and he came back, whatever, about he may have like a year left in wrestling. He needs an AEW title run. And I know right now the title is with MJF and there's a storyline with Cole, and I know that's probably got that's in the bottom of the third inning, but he needs to get a run before he goes. And even if that's like his last thing, like almost like a Mickey James thing, because he's just been amazing, with his time with AEW and being able to have matches that he couldn't have in WWE.
Like this one?
So it's going to be a really good match, but then, give him the win over Okada, give him the win over Zack Sabre Jr., get Ospreay in there, and I think he needs to head towards a title run.
Yeah. So when does Zig Dolphler debut into
is he able to use Zig Ziglar like it was originally supposed to be?
If they didn't trademark that one, they should be able to. I mean,
why not? So that's potential. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not either.
That's too funny.
So. I just want to see him come out with a different name and his brother be like, "Dude, we're related. Why do we have
you mean you can finally legally call yourself our family name and you pick now to pick something else?"
Well, that is WrestleDream, guys, and this is all the makings of being one of the best pay-per-views of the year. Yep. Not just in AEW, but overall. And we'll find out for sure. AEW WrestleDream, Sunday, October 1st, 7 p.m. Central Time. Bleacher Report. It's going to be on Bleacher Report, but also on your traditional pay-per-view. Check with your pay-per-view provider if you still have a box, if you haven't cut the cord yet. I believe also certain Dave & Buster's locations are going to be having watch parties, pay a cover, come watch it. So check into that website to go see if that's happening. Internationally, I believe it's also on Fight TV, and it's at the price of $50. It is going to be taking place at the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington, Bryan Danielson's hometown. So it's going to be nuts. And buy-in, I believe, should be starting around 6 o'clock for this one.
I forgot. Swerve is from Seattle too. That's why I think
he mentioned that.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, and you know what? I meant to bring this up during I really do think that could be a potential show stealer. I mean, I know everyone's looking forward to Danielson and Sabre Jr., but I don't think people should sleep on Paige and Strickland. I think they have all the potential in the world to steal the show right out from underneath everyone else's nose. Like, seriously.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, it's time to get into our 1-minute warning segment here. Mike, you said you got... Oh, actually, before we get into that, you said you had something about a clip I want to remind you about.
You know what? I'll use that for my 1-minute warning.
Oh, okay.
Because I was really just going to talk about Bayley, but I can do that anytime.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, set, and go.
So, Nastico, right? If you know anything about Texas wrestling, he's nasty. He's a jerk. He's a horrible person in wrestling, of course. But then the other day, he goes and retweets the Iconics interview with Kathy Kelly, that like one of the best interviews after they get pinned in their title match, and says, "I will always retweet this." How am I supposed to respond to that, Nastico? I didn't know you actually had good taste in class. I just went to a show where you tried to screw over both of your clients, both of the people that you were supposed to be representing, and you tried to screw them both. So I thought you were dumb, and then you do this. So I don't know what to do with that.
Oh, man, he's made you torn now.
Yes, but I agree with you 100% that I will always retweet any of those iconic videos from WWE and the WWE like online that they didn't even put on Raw, because those are just classics. And Cassie Lee's apparently finally getting back into wrestling.
Oh, cool.
She's going to be doing tagging with her husband against Cardona and Delander, I think. So.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, but anyways, Jason, worst management in pro wrestling. Yeah. So ugly, he has to put his face behind a mask. So
all the time.
All right.
It is kind of messed up because I actually do know of a story where he was actually nice, and I hate that I know it because it's like, damn it, I had a hatred for you I was comfortable with.
Yeah, he didn't even go into journalism, so I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Tommy, you got something this week?
I do.
All right, we're ready, set, and go.
So I saw a tweet the other day, and it said, "No one wants to see AEW fail. They just want AEW to listen." And I replied, "No, there are people who want to see them fail." And sure enough, said it. And my argument was, so you just want people to lose their jobs, who are paid for criticism. And the person made the argument that if they were really that good, they'd be in WWE. And of course, I said that's the worst take I've ever heard. And my immediate response was, and I'm not kidding, I said, Bryan Danielson has always been this good. He didn't just start when he got to WWE. He was this good in ROH. He was this good in PWG. He was this good on the Indies. He has always been this good. They didn't pick him up until he was like midway through his career. But go back to 2003, all the way up until the day he got signed with WWE. He was always this good. And I name drop people. I said, what about guys like Ricky Starks, who have all the potential in the world, just never got a chance to show it? And I said, and I even mentioned, what about the backstage guys? Talking about Jerry Lynn, Dean Malenko, all these guys who would never have a job anywhere else at this level, but they get to do it here. Is AEW perfect? We have said it a billion times at this point on this show, so much that it's a cliche. Of course they're not. They have questionable booking decisions that we don't agree with. Guess what? Insert name of wrestling company here. So, and I mean on all levels, indies, national, regional, doesn't matter. New Japan, I haven't always agreed with their booking, but I don't want the company to close because I don't know, Naito didn't win one, Wrestle Kingdom or nothing like that. It's nothing wrong. If the booking we don't agree with, we just don't agree with it. Okay. I want WWE to close. That's tons of people who will be out of work. That's not okay either.
Yeah.
This business is great, man. Let everybody make their money any way they can. Shoot.
Yeah. AEW is also younger than Jay, so I mean, let's chill out, people.
Oh
yeah.
God, that's so true.
All right.
Sorry.
For mine,
crisis that Mike just cost me. Sorry.
For mine, I'm going to turn the clock off here and we're going to play a little game of what is the wrestling equivalent of this. Okay.
This
is something you guys can play at home.
Jason's comment. Sorry.
Here. I just want. Don't we?
Yeah.
All,
okay.
Right?
No, that I do want to happen. Okay, Jason, you're right about that.
So, I'm going to show you guys something here. I'm going to share my screen here in a second, and I want you guys to tell me what is the wrestling equivalent of this. And here we go. It's Miami beating the Denver Broncos 70-20.
I've already got an answer.
Go ahead, Mike. Let me hear your answer. What is the wrestling equivalent of Miami 70, Denver?
Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam.
That's a good one.
Okay. Tommy?
Everyone versus Samoa Joe when he was ROH World Champion.
Okay. Jason, I see you laughing there. So you guys commenting, let me know what yours is.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Dude, I have been thinking about this all week. No, I'm not kidding. When I saw this score, I saw it on Facebook, and it wasn't a picture of the score. Someone said the Miami Dolphins scored 70 points on the Denver Broncos. You know what I said? Bullshit. That's a made-up story that someone came up with, and just completely they're lying. No team in the NFL just scores 70 points. You can't do that. So I went and checked, and I said, "Oh, Jason, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one,
Jason." And I said, did the Broncos leave midway through the game? Did they leave and just let the Dolphins kind of tackle each other and just run into the end zone?
They might as well have. And honestly, Sports Minorities Podcast, go check it out. We talked about the fact that it's Denver versus Chicago this week, And just for the hell of it, why not just flex that game so everybody can watch the shit show that's going to be? But
dude, that game's gonna suck.
I know
so bad.
Dude, that's the reason I want them to flex it this Sunday night. Just add the Benny Hill music over it. It's going to be great.
So bad it's good.
Yeah. Here we go.
Ted, that's a good one. That's a good Jason. That's another good one. Actually.
Jason, yeah, that's another good one.
All right, you know what? I think I have my answer.
Okay.
Impact moving to Mondays to try and compete with Raw.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's depressingly accurate. Damn, that was the worst.
Well, right. What about NXT moving to Wednesdays to compete with AEW?
You mean the company that just started and whooped their ass so bad they have to move back to Tuesdays? Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But it wasn't as much of a blowout as
no, I know. You're right.
So yeah.
Spike Dudley versus Mike Awesome in ECW, where the first thing Awesome did before he even took his damn belt off was throw Spike through a table.
Yeah. So, when stuff happens in sports and life, and I may just spend my time in 1 minute warning giving you more of these. What is the wrestling equivalent of this? So,
or one that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
When Lance Archer gets a hold of Tommy eventually.
Why does this keep coming up? Like, why are we repeatedly talking about this? I mean, what did I do? What? So
ask Lance Archer. I don't know. He's the one who wants to put you through a table many times.
Well, apparently, according to him, I made him lose the RCW championship once. That was not my fault.
Oh well, yeah, that would definitely do it.
Thank you everybody for your response to all that. Stay tuned. You never know where you're going to see that. So
that was my god, dude. I can't even imagine what Broncos fans were going through that moment. Look. Here's what I said because
alcohol, lots of alcohol.
There's that,
and weed. It's legal there.
So I think I've said this before. I follow Tom Grossi and Chiseled Adonis. Then that's how I've been keeping with football in the past couple of years. When that happened, that was the same night, that Dallas lost. And I was like, okay, well, we lost to the Cardinals. That sucks. But then I was like, but at least we tried. Jesus Christ.
Did they, though?
Here's the crazy thing about that.
Yes, they did. Dude, no Dallas loss was near that bad. I'm sorry. I don't even care.
Here's the crazy thing about that game is that, you know what the NFL record is for the most points scored in a game?
72.
72. That's right.
Miami could have kicked a field goal, but they decided to take an E just to end the game. They could have broken the record here at the end. They could have. So, yeah.
That's right, because Tom Grossi's video, I got to see you guys that video. He said, "Don't take the knee, you cowards."
Yeah.
Ted, did he never have the WWE title?
Yeah, he did.
No, he did, but he did. Briefly.
Because he was
he was the first cash in. It was the WWE Championship he took from
Cena.
He had them both, Ted.
He had it for like a month.
So it was
kind
of
the
back
big
and
gold
forth.
one for a while. I know that.
Yeah, he had the big gold one. I think
multiple times.
I think he had the gold one that incarnation more times than anyone else had it. Like of the WWE
Ted,
version.
If you need a reminder,
when it's comeback. No.
Oh, it's comeback.
No.
No one expected that.
I mean, I kind of hoped for it only because it was Reigns.
Plus, if you remember, he would come back, have some big matches, and then kind of be out for a while. He got injured and had to recoup longer. And so no, I'm not mad about the comeback. I mean, I will say, his Royal Rumble appearance to me is the #1 surprise at Rumble entrance of all time. If anyone you want to disagree with me on those, that's fine. But for me, I still get goosebumps when I see the video of it, just because the music hits, the initial reaction. And then the look on his face when he comes through the smoke and takes it all in.
He used to went ape shit for that too. It was crazy.
Yeah, I my #1 before that was AJ Styles, and then Edge returned. And I was like, well, sorry, AJ, you're #2 now.
Yeah.
So
and they got the camera better for Edge. So
yeah.
Until
he speared Dolph Ziggler.
Two is definitely AJ. 3 was probably Ty Dillinger coming in at #10 at the Rumble that we were at, because that was amazing.
Oh, JC, I thought your 3 would have been John Cena coming in at that Rumble where you.
You shut the fuck up. Anyway, shows that are happening. Shut up, Tommy. A show is happening this weekend. NXT No Mercy is on Saturday, September 30th, 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock. and AEW WrestleDream Sunday, October 1st, 7 p.m. on Bleacher Report for $50. That one is pay-per-view. Peacock one. I would just have to subscribe to Peacock for that one. And on WrestleDream, as we mentioned, check out your local Dave and Buster's. Do a search, find out if they're going to be showing this event. If you want to see it live, and you don't want to pay the pay-per-view price. So,
yeah.
Next week, we're going to recap both of those events, and then we're also going to preview WWE FastLane.
Well, all right. I didn't know there was a show.
There is a show.
I did. I just kept forgetting the name of it.
Yeah, but it's I'm actually. But we can kind of also call this, aka the pay-per-view, while the actors are on strike, because I think Cena and The Rock may potentially be involved in this one. So,
but the writer's strike is supposed to be ending soon. So we'll see.
That one has officially ended, I believe. They're allowed to go back to work, but they're working on the SAG one still. They're trying to negotiate with that.
So the funny part is, this is what everybody forgets. Even if that does end tomorrow, who knows when they'll actually go back to work, because the Hollywood schedule is now effed up.
I think what it is, it allows the writers to go back for like television shows, like talk shows and stuff like that. And obviously, they have to, even the TV schedule, like ESPN already announced that, hey, all the Monday night games are going to be on ABC as well because they got nothing planned. They don't have anything filmed. Yeah. So it's going to take a while to get that going. And then they still have to get through the SAG strike as well to even get actors to come out.
I need that one show, that school, the teacher show to come back. Abbott
Elementary.
Yeah, that's a good show.
I need that to come back.
Real quick, just talking about shows. If you have Hulu, Reservation Dogs is an amazing show. Taika Waititi is a executive producer. It's about some Native American teens growing up in Oklahoma, but it has his perfect blend of like comedy, emotional gut punch. You're just like, oh, and
nice. I like that.
Yeah, and it ended after 3 seasons, but it was done so well. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It is.
I like shows that actually have their set run time, like like Breaking Bad had like its 5 season run. I like that.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso, yeah,
great show. So, which by the way, if you do have Apple TV Plus, I do recommend Silo. 1 season in so far, working on season 2 is Silo. Season 1 was amazing. And for All Mankind, they just announced that season 4 is going to be happening beginning of November. Yeah. And I'm going to say the 3 seasons are pretty insane. But if you're not familiar with For All Mankind, it's basically rewriting history if the Soviets got to the moon first.
Oh, nice.
And Ted, it's pretty cool.
I saw Ted's comment. And yes, Ted, yes, I'm...
Yeah.
Just after I meet Stephen Amell, too. Damn it.
I still need to watch season 2, but yeah.
Save heels. Sorry. So
yeah, bring back heels, bring back Krypton, please. All right, thank you again. Yes. Shut up, Mike. All right. I saw your eyes there. Come on, Krypton was amazing.
I understand. It's just like, never mind. We got to get going. Let's go.
Okay. Thank you everybody for joining us this week's episode. Over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC, and keep an eye out for whatever stuff that can be compared to wrestling. And as always, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Reach for the sky, boy.
See you next week.
Boom. Adios, Gunther.